if you clicked on this video, then you must be interested to a certain extent about what normal eating might be. And you might be warring inside of yourself, moving from restricted eating to overeating, and the food noise is just driving you bonkers. Well, if that is the case, it's very relatable. And we're going to talk today about some of the lessons and rules and very dysfunctional thinking that our world has put into us, exposed us to our whole lives, and has really facilitated this war with food. And then we're going to talk about some ways to, regain our freedom when it comes to food. And it's absolutely possible. Now, as many of you know, I've been a mental health counselor for nearly 30 years and worked with a lot of people struggling with emotional eating, binge eating disorders, food noise, all the things. And just because I logically know this information and can help other people doesn't mean that I do everything perfectly. I want to be clear about that. I am still a woman in our world that is susceptible to defining my value by my appearance and body shape and weight. And the war continues in me, and I have to be proactive and intentional to fend off those false beliefs all the time. Because logically knowing something isn't the same as feeling it and allowing it to guide your behaviors and your self-view. I hope that makes sense, because I don't want to come across as a know-it-all. I have a lot of information, but information alone isn't the thing. It's being intentional, mindful, and putting these things into practice. So the first thing I want to share with you is something that Ellen Satter from the Ellen Satter Institute. She's just a well-known dietitian, therapist, and author in the area of emotional eating. And she has a lot of good resources. Look her up. But there is one handout that I give almost all of my patients who struggle with emotional eating or food noise. And it's called, What is Normal Eating, or Normal Eating, I think, just Normal Eating. And I'll put it in the comment section. Check out the comment section so that you can look at all of the details of how she lists out what normal eating is. And I'm telling you, it is liberating. Don't just breeze through it, just marinate on it and allow it to sink in. Super helpful. So number one, I want to give you that resource. Number two, I want to go through some of the dysfunctional things that are messing us up with food. The first thing is that this world has tied morality and good character to food. And when you say it that way, it seems kind of silly, but we all absolutely run by those rules. That, if we have a salad with a dressing on the side, then, we're somehow a little bit more elevated than the person next to us that has the double cheeseburger with bacon. There's just a certain goodness of character tied to food, and it's completely false and a lie. It's completely false and a lie. There is room in a healthy diet for every single kind of food. So first of all, food is not a moral choice. It's a fun choice. It's a fuel choice. It's a healthy choice, but it's not a reflection of your morality and the strength of your willpower and the goodness of your character. It just isn't. And we need to just let that go. The other thing that our world kind of has given us is rigid rules around food. Whenever we tie in external cues and rules around food, then it decreases our internal awareness of our actual needs. So for example, if we can't eat before 11 a.m. or we can only have this amount of calories, or I don't eat fat, or I only eat this many macros, there's a million different rules about food. And when those things guide us, then we're not actually saying, am I hungry? Do I need to eat more? Do I need to eat less? Am I needing some more carbs? Am I really craving protein? Am I really needing to include some fat right now? There's all of these internal needs that our body is whispering to us all the time. But when the loud, external, rigid rules of our world and the diet culture are screaming at us, we can't hear the whispers of our own internal needs. I hope that makes sense. So to quiet that down and to tune in, you just have to slow it down and be mindful. It's almost like you got to shush the world and say, what did you say? What did you say? To your own internal appetites and needs. And, give yourself permission to and courage to listen to the needs and to follow what your body actually is asking. Our body will guide us in the right direction. Now, I've got to put a caution in here. Whenever I've worked with women who are struggling with emotional eating, and I tell them, stop counting calories, stop doing the intermittent fasting, stop doing all of these external rules, stop cutting out fat or having any and counting macros. Stop doing all of that and literally just listen to your body, choose the foods that it needs, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. Sometimes you'll overeat a little bit, but your body will, because it's fun or you get distracted or it just tastes so good. But if you trust your body, it will naturally undereat at the next meal. It just balances out, truly. But this is my caution. When you go from all of the external rigid rules to trying to trust your body and listen to that voice, your body isn't going to trust you that you're going to honor its needs. So often the pendulum swings to slightly overeating and overindulgence because you've lived in a world of food scarcity that was governed by all the external rules around eating. And whenever we feel a deprivation or a scarcity, we kind of overconsume. So the pendulum might swing the other way, where if you say, I can eat chocolate, I can eat ice cream, I could eat any food that I want to eat. It's okay. Well, you're probably going to overeat those things just a tiny bit. But don't panic. Don't panic. Talk to yourself gently, as you would a child next to you or a trusted friend. Tell them, yeah, you eat a little bit, you eat a lot of ice cream. How does that feel for you? And don't judge yourself. Don't put morality into it. And your body honestly will start to correct, and you're going to be craving, carrots and salads, and you're going to be craving a mix of things because the truth is our body needs it all. Our body needs it all. Okay, here comes a hard thing. One of the hardest things, I'm going to say this, about normal eating and letting go of external rigid rules and the morality we've got tied to it and allowing your internal intuition to guide your eating. Over time, you'll get to a good place with that, but I'm going to tell you, your body weight and shape may not fit the cultural ideal. The point of eating and taking care of our bodies is not to get smaller and smaller and smaller, leaner and leaner and leaner, or a certain number on the scale or a certain pant size. The point of eating is to fuel our body adequately. And if we are making decent food choices and eating a variety of foods and moving and being active in our lives to a certain extent with exercise, which could even be walking and, things like that, that our bodies will balance out at its normal set point over time if you trust the process. Now, that normal set point may be higher than what you consider is your ideal. But you have to ask yourself, where did that ideal come from? We as women come in all different shapes and sizes, and some of us have narrow hips and long legs and flat stomachs, and some of us are a little bit more panda bear. And genetics determine a lot of those things. Our body composition, our appetite regulation, our insulin, our glucose, we come in all shapes and sizes. And one of the lies that our world has told us is that only the very lean, slim, certain body shape and size, only they are healthy. But the truth is, you can be very healthy and be carrying an extra 15 or 20 pounds. Or actually, there's not even a number on that. I shouldn't even do that because we get preoccupied with numbers. But if you go into the doctor and your labs are good, your heart is good, you can function and move through your day, and you are capable to take care of yourself and be strong and independent, then your body is healthy. And the weight and the size that you wear of pants doesn't matter. And you have to be able to, you have to work on letting go of this false goal that the world has pushed. Our culture, especially in the US, has pushed of being ultra thin and lean for women. You have to let that go and say, who am I when I take good care of myself and I am healthy? And kind of embrace that. So those are just some aspects of making peace with eating and your food. And as many of you know, as a recent empty nester and semi-retired, I have said repeatedly that I want to live the last third of my life in a way where I'm not circling around and around the same old issues, the same old wounds, and making the same mistakes. And this is an area in my life that I want to let go of and reclaim my freedom around food. Now, I've worked on this most of my life and am constantly battling it. And like I said at the beginning, just because you have the knowledge in your head doesn't mean that you can just not be intentional or mindful about it. And so I had it on my to-do list that I want to be consistently mindful and intentional about loving my body through food and respecting my needs. And sometimes that's overeating, and sometimes that's undereating, and sometimes that's eating a salad, and sometimes it is eating a double bacon cheeseburger. Now, let me add right at the end that there are always people who have disagreements about certain aspects of the information that I put out there, and that's normal. We all have different views, and I welcome everybody's viewpoint. But there are people who are, say, allergic to gluten or are pre-diabetic or diabetic. I mean, have other health conditions that put rigid rules and things around their diet. And I am not talking about that at all. If you have a health condition that requires you to cut out a certain food group or to put rigid rules around your eating, then you absolutely must. That's just the way your body is made. Health is first. So I'm not talking about that. And I hope I'm clear on that. So I would love to hear from you about your experience and journey with eating. If you feel like you're constantly warring, or have you made peace? And if so, how? I would love to hear that. So just a reminder, I'm going to put that Normal Eating by Ellen Satter in the comment section. You're going to find it super useful. And comment and join the conversation. Our combined wisdom has more power than just one voice alone. All right, thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm sure we'll be talking soon.